Hello and welcome to Hold the Vision podcast. Some of you may know me from my weird Australian twang. Others may know me from just being me. I'm Carl. Thanks for joining us. And I'm having the pleasure to host today's show. Today we have with us, as always, the First Lady, Chidi.
Hey guys, namaste. I'm happy because the energy's better because Carl's hosting. Sorry, Six.
We'll try and change that, babe. We'll try and change. And a lady that needs no intro, Miss Millie Rock. How you doing, babe?
Do you know what I love? You have like a telephone voice for this. It's amazing.
We'll see how tongue twisted I get. Give me a second. And our lovely lady with her Erica Badu hair going on. How's Miss Cher?
Hi guys.
And we have a little intro to someone who's going to actually participate this week. Sticky, how's it going?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good, considering my wine last night. I'm good.
Good.
So thanks for everyone for joining us. Feel free to comment put your comments in the section so we can get you in the conversation and join in with us. So our topics today. First one off, should parents stay together for the sake of a child? And I mean, this is definitely going to be a broad one because people can have their own things. Chid, what are you saying?
Well, should parents stay together for the sake of the child? No. I'll tell you why. I don't mind talking about my own personal experience in this. I've been in that situation and I stayed in a relationship for as long as I could just to try and keep my family together. And I was miserable, he was miserable, and so was my child. It wasn't nice. It affected everyone. Even affected like my extended family. My mum wasn't happy. Brother wasn't happy, like aunties, uncle. It was just a vibe. It was horrible. And like even like friends, Carl, Carl would come around and the energy was bad in my house. It was so bad. It just wasn't good. Yeah. It wasn't good. It's happened a couple of times, haven't it? I fucked up with relationships in the past, not gonna lie. But yeah, no, all jokes aside, it's just not good. It's not good for anyone in that situation. It's so like it's a different type of misery. It's so unfair. Like it's unfair to everyone, but it's really unfair on the child. Like I noticed that my daughter changed, like her eating habits changed. She just wouldn't sleep. And it was just uncomfortable, and I knew because she sensed the vibe, and the atmosphere in my house just wasn't good. So, and it wasn't until I finally said like I really can't do this anymore, and he moved out, and it was just peaceful. It was so much better. And I don't mean peaceful because he was gone. There was just no atmosphere anymore, and I think he found peace also. And it was healthier. It was healthier, especially mentally, because mentally it can really, really mess you up. Especially when like all parties know it is done and it's over with and you're trying to hold on. What are you holding on to? It creates nothing but misery, as I said. And yeah, it's just, I just think for the sake of staying together, for the sake of the children, I know that, like, in my heart, I can say that if I would have stayed with my daughter's dad, I think my daughter would have resented me for it later on because it just wouldn't have been happy. I couldn't stand him. I'm sure it got to the point where he couldn't stand me. Do you know what I mean? And it just wasn't good. And it was... One part of it as well, one thing that I did, and I'm not proud of it, is I kind of, how can I say, I hogged my child. Like, I was, I know she's mine. Like, and I would put it in the bed with me, and I was just doing the most, and that was because I just didn't want him anywhere near me, and I just wanted she was mine, and I didn't mean to do that. I didn't do it like consciously, but subconsciously, I just kept her close to me, and that wasn't good either.
Was it did you kind of use that as a point of like a safeguard?
It was to create a barrier between me and him, but then that's also using the child as a kind of defense, or like, you know, some people use their children as a weapon, but I used it as a defense, and that's sometimes even worse. So yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't healthy, you know, all around, and I just wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't do it. If you know the relationship is done and there's no, you know, you can't salvage anything, then just walk away and try and do the best that you can do, you know, apart, rather than staying together and being miserable bastards.
Yeah, I mean, keeping the clarity is the most important thing as well, like you're saying, and just trying to be responsible in that situation. Mill, you got a child. What's your thought? Are kids hypersensitive to these situations? What's your thought here?
I mean, my child's one of a kind. Who knows what goes on with his head? He's just, no, I'm not even saying that like that. Do you know, like, he just, some of the things he says, I'm like, so what? Where did you even get that from? But anyway, that's enough of a story for another day. But, you know, I feel like, no, don't, like, obviously, as a parent, everybody will say you put your kids at first, and you always put your kids first. Everything else is irrelevant. But I think in that situation, you have to put yourself like first, because if you're a good parent and the other parent is a good parent also, if you're apart, you can still be a good parent to that child. You can still co-parent. You don't even have to talk. You can, you know, before everything happens, you can agree like, okay, cool, these are the days, these are like your days, these are the times. In the holidays, we'll do half and half. Do you know what I mean? And then we can leave it there. We don't need to talk about it again. We already know what's set. I'll drop the kids to school on a Wednesday. If you pick them up from school on the Wednesday, you then have them Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can work something out. But it's when you stay in it and you're becoming depressed, you're becoming unhappy, you are feeling like the world isn't there to support you, even though you've got people around you. It's when you are now like snapping at the kids for no reason, you know, just because. And everybody hates it. You know, they're sitting at the table, they're eating their dinner, and they're just. But instead of just being like, hun, manners, you're like, ah, 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 ah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've took it to another level now, and you're taking it out on the kids. It's unacceptable. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the energies are totally worn at that point, aren't they? It's just broken.
Yeah, and your kids will still be fine. There are so many single parents out there, and there are so many like women and like men. There are so many parents who are co-parenting and their kids are fine. There is nothing wrong with them. I think people get consumed and stuck in, but I want a family. Do you know what I mean? And I want that family like unit, and especially people who have come from a broken home. They always want, do you know what I mean? They don't want to then have their kids in a broken home, but what's to say that once you have like relearned how to love yourself and you're now putting your kids like first again, that someone isn't gonna walk in your life and like make you happy. Do you know what I mean? Just to give a little background to this story, so obviously it's all in like social like media and that, Kanye and Kim, and he's there online like, oh, but what's her face, North has TikTok, and I say she can't have it, so what are my rights? And it's like, why are you on social media doing that? Do you know what I mean? But knowing that your child has social media, why are you doing it online when she can see that? Someone else will post it up on TikTok, someone will post it in her comments, she can like read that. She's not like stupid. Why are you doing that? You don't need to air any of your like dirty laundry just because you're a celebrity. You do not need to put it online because there is still kids involved. To deal with it properly and have your legal team do whatever and then sort everything out. You do not need to be online and in podcasts and in this, that, and the other, chatting your kids like mum down. And it's the same with girls. They will run their mouth on their like on their kids' dad. But why? Half the time, your kid's in their room and you're in the living room. Your kid can hear you. Do you know what I mean? Like, why? Don't do it. It's not like fair on the kids, and like mentally, it's not like fair on you. Just get out and be happy.
It's like a vicious attack of like you then playing a part of playing off the parents against each other, and then you're this anomaly in the middle, which becomes the construction part. Everything's broken down, and it's not fair to kids. Sticky, what do you think about it?
Do you know what? I think this is the first time someone says to me, Sticky, what do you think? I feel a bit weird over here.
Okay.
Do you know what?
Chair.
Piss off. So, firstly, I think I have to agree with everything Milan said. I can't disagree with anything Milan said whatsoever. Every single point, from the first point she made about co-parenting, the second point she made about Kim and Kanye being on social media. I can't stand that stuff. I hate when people, parents on social media, talking about the business. I just think to myself, why do you do it? But on the flip side, though, I do think there is an argument for it, though. You know, to say that, not the social media part, but it depends on the relationship, I suppose, isn't it? You know, you can still get on. You may not be, together, but you can still get on. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean you have to be arguing. You don't have to be arguing, do you? You don't have to be at each other's throats. You can just have I won't say relationship. Well, call it a relationship. Just that you may not have a relationship with each other, I suppose. So yeah, that's probably the flip side to that argument.
Yeah, no, it's got a point. I mean, you just need to stop the destruction apart. It becomes too much of a dynamite situation. Peely's saying in the comments that she doesn't think they should stay together for children. It doesn't benefit them in any way, especially if it's difficult to get on. Sometimes you create a better environment for your children when you're apart, and I totally agree with that. Cher, what's your thought?
Well, I'm all for families staying together and all that kind of stuff. But I think when it comes down to it's a toxic environment, and it can affect people mentally, whether it's the mom, the dad, the child, then that's when you need to start like reevaluating it, kind of thing. But for me personally, like my parents got divorced when I was like proper young. So for me, I've always wanted that kind of family structure, but obviously a lot of the time it doesn't work out like that. So I just feel like if it's gonna really have an effect mentally, then it doesn't need to be done. Because another thing I think as well is that I don't think that this is just my personal opinion, but I don't think that partners should live together.
Interesting, go on.
Yeah, I feel like once you move in together, that's when it starts going downhill a bit.
Yeah, but is that not a case of people are jumping
space.
into it too fast and not learning about each other first?
Pardon?
Is that not a case of though people are just jumping in too fast and not learning about each other before getting to the goal of having a child and moving it? Do you know what I mean? Are they just jumping the gun there?
I think sometimes, but then other times, like people can move in after 10 years and then all of a sudden they're not getting along. So I don't know if it's a thing where maybe people just need their space. I feel like sometimes when you're with somebody, you forget who you are as a person, and you need to know who you are before you create this family structure kind of thing. But yeah, I think whatever's best for the child should come first, realistically, over any man or woman.
Can I ask a question there then? So with that thought in mind, I want to know who's got with his money. Who's got his money to have two separate households? What are you saying? two
Since
rents,
you
two
had two
mortgages.
separate households in the beginning, how can you not afford your own?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Donut.
Well, hang on. Wait. Hang on. Keeping in mind, we're talking about kids here, right? So you may have started with two separate households, but then you got a kid or kids involved in it. So imagine you got 2 or 3 children. That separate household thing ain't working no more. Who's paying 2 electricity bills, 2 this, that, and other, what have you? Hang on a minute. Wait.
You pay your
2
bills, I pay mine.
2 skies. So what? So and then okay, right. Let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that full. So you now got 3 kids. Yeah. So when you had a 1-bedroom flat beforehand, yeah, which was fine with you and fine with him, and you now got 3 kids and 2 on the way. We said.
But then if you move out, you're going to be paying separate bills anyway. If you break up,
you only have
gonna
the
be
kids that
paying
you can
separate
afford.
bills.
Don't be popping at kids that you can't afford. But you got
As I
3
said,
kids and
no,
2 on
wait.
the way.
Wait. As I said, you both started off with 1-bedroom flats because when you had a 1-bedroom flat, you had yours, he had his. It was all cool, innit? You stay over a couple of times, he stays over a couple of times, whatever. It's all good. You got 3 kids now. You got triplets. What are you saying to me? You're still gonna have two separate houses? Come on now.
But you may have also come from the family home where you wouldn't be paying that amount of bills.
I think if you've got children together, why would you live separately? I don't understand. I get it if it's just you 2 or whatever. Fuck you, I ain't trying to live with you. You live in your yard, I live in mine. That's fine. But I think if you've got children, to have 2 separate homes but you're together, it's a little bit weird, isn't it? I don't know.
A lot of the time, if people are single parents, they won't be living together anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but
then if you're together,
if you've got a children and you're getting on, why would you live apart?
separately?
I just feel like, for me personally anyway, everybody's different, but I just feel like I need my space from people. I can't be around, maybe because I live by myself, I don't live with anybody. So I need my space. I can't be around like a man 24/7. Do you know what I mean? So
no, I 100% agree with that because I'm the same. But I think this is where the dynamics of relationships and stuff have gone wrong over time. Because how is it become that we can have children with somebody, we can build a family with somebody, but then we got to live in 2 separate homes? I think sometimes it's generational also as well.
Well, Brina in the comments have just said, interesting share. Pondered on the never living together setup. Had myself in those older years, lol.
We the one before that one. That was quite funny.
I'm just going to read it now. I hear you, Jids. I tried that hanging in there madness till I was miserable and depressed and running high, risk of murdering my daughter's dad.
I swear to God, no, listen, because one night, I'm not even going to lie, and I'll say this, yeah, I'll say it on this live, yeah. One night I woke up, so he was sleeping on the sofa. Got to that point, and it was horrible. I definitely
always
did
sleeping,
not want
wasn't
him
he?
in my... Pardon?
He was always sleeping, wasn't he?
Pretty much, yeah. But I got it one night, yeah, and I'm sure I rang you, Carl. I got it one night to go and get a drink, and I walked in my living room and he was laying on my sofa, and I went in the kitchen. I in my head I said, if I get a knife and I stab him, yeah, what will that's how it got. And I said, nah, he gotta go. You know, when he wakes up in the morning, he's going, because from time you're thinking like that. And I ain't even a murderer, do you get me? I ain't got no murder on my charge sheet. But I would have if he'd stayed another 24 hours. It was even just looking at him and seeing him breathe. Like it was, I couldn't. Oh, it was really bad. This is what I mean.
But people totally change and they grow throughout and if people don't accept that growth, people grow apart. That's natural, you know. And if that cycle of the growth is grown apart, to keep that together, where that harmonious lifestyle for the kid to grow up has depleted, then what's the point? I mean, that's just a toxic situation all around, right? Brina is saying, "Chids, that's how I felt the day he was up in my face and had to end it there and then." Yeah, people shouldn't have to deal with, like, if they're not happy, they should be able to move on from the situation. And obviously having a kid is going to make it worse, right? Because then you got to designate times.
I like what Shane said about living separately though. I wonder how that would be to have.
But surely though, you would just get like a man cave or a woman cave in the garden and then just go and piss off somewhere.
Even that.
I feel like, you know, like when you're saying you need your space, I feel like obviously the dynamics of your relationship, obviously you would talk to your partner and you would both understand that you both need space. So there'll be, you know, a day where you're just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go chill in my bedroom or whatever, and you can stand with me, like, I don't need you to be around me, or do you know what I mean? Or this weekend I'm planning like a girls' weekend, or I'm just gonna go sit in a spa by myself because I don't need you to be by my side all the time. Do you know what I mean? And don't call me over the weekend. He's not going to be all paro thinking, oh my God, my girls did it. No, because you two have that connection and relationship and can talk and are open with each other and respect each other to know that, okay, cool. Like, you need your space. And like when I need mine, you have to respect that I need my space. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you just got to respect that I want to be in the corner with Lambrini and leave me alone.
And I think that's where it's become so different with relationships now, is lack of communication, a lack of being able to be honest about your emotions, about how you feel. Me being a person that likes my space, that is something this is the first thing I communicate. Listen, I don't really like fucking with humans too tough, yeah? But I would do it because I have to. Do you get me? I'll do it. But sometimes I need to draw back or whatever, then it's that person's got to understand. It's a funny one, isn't it?
Hold that topic, because this is going to a perfect segue into the next one. Should we be staying together if your partner cheats?
Oh, hell no, you want to cheat on me? Go fuck yourself. Nah, I don't know. It depends. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Pass on that one.
You gotta have more to that question than I don't know.
Do you say the question again?
Should you stay together if your partner cheats?
I mean, it depends on what the hell has gone on. Do you know what I mean?
A cheat's a cheat. It's happened.
Do you know what? Listen to this, yeah. I know somebody who got absolutely paralytically drunk, yeah, to the point where they could not remember nothing. There was nothing. And they woke up the next morning and they were in somebody else's bed and they were like, okay, you're not my man. What is going on? And she genuinely could not remember who the fuck, or where the fuck she got there. And she went home and she told her partner, she went, look, I woke up in some next man's bed this morning and I don't know how I got there. He's saying we had sex. I don't remember having sex with him. And he forgave her. He actually forgave her because she doesn't really drink, for one. Because when she does get drunk, she gets in an absolute state. And they just couldn't work out what happened. And she really genuinely couldn't remember. And she's a very honest person as well. And she's not a cheat. So, but in her mind, she cheated and she said it haunts her and it's, she feels guilty. But he said, fuck it, we can move past it. It is what it is, isn't it?
I mean, they're lucky they got that trust.
It's having that mature approach about it. I think sometimes, I don't condone cheating, but if it's a one-off and it's something that's happened and you're able to work through that with your partner, then do your thing. Me personally, I don't think it's something that I could do, because if it gets to the point that you go out there and you intentionally cheat, that you're not happy in it. Like, you're not. No one's ever going to be 100% happy. But why you? Like, I've gone to cheat on an ex-partner and whatever, and I had to speak to him about it. I said to him, I almost cheated on you because I'm not happy, and we spoke about it and we worked through it and we were fine for another 5 months. So the fuck off. But it's about communication. Like, if you can cheat, then then you're not committed to the relationship, really, are you? So yeah, but I don't know, each their own. Everyone's entitled to do what they're doing.
Peely in the comments is saying, when the environment is so toxic, separate rooms are not enough. Sometimes you get to the point where you just have to be away from each other. 100%. So that's in relation to the last topic. And also Brina's saying now that she says that's a very unique situation, Shits. Yeah, I mean, everyone's got a different situation, which is totally fine. Sticky, should we stay together if someone cheats?
Well, I mean, the go-to answer was going to be no, innit? It's like the ideal answer is always going to be no, I wouldn't do that. But you always have people say, oh, that was me, I wouldn't do that. You don't want to hear people say that. Even myself now, I don't even use those lines anymore because I think to myself, emotions take over, innit? Feelings take over. So we're quick to say, if that was me, I wouldn't do this. But when it comes down to it, our emotions take over, we act and react differently. So the simple answer is, no, we shouldn't. But will we? Yes, we will. Simple as that, really, isn't it? Well, it depends on the circumstance, again, depending on how long you've been together for, and X, Y, and Z, and blah, 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 and what you got going on. But it happens. It happens. So yeah, that's it, really. I'm not used to this, I'm not used to talking so much. I'm used to like hosting. I'm used to reading the messages. So I feel a bit like fish out of water here. I thought to cuss cards, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Do you think, though, so do you think that maybe it's a case of, if you haven't like developed in your personal growth in being able to separate yourself from that situation, if you feel like you're going to cheat, there's no point in being in that situation. But I feel like a lot of people, agree with me if I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong, they don't have that confidence within themselves, and they stay in a bit of habit when someone's cheated, and then you got the total trust breakdown, but they're not confident enough in themselves to actually break away from it.
I think there's more to it than just that, though. Because I think it's not just as simple. I think when you're, say, I don't know, when you're 18, living at home, you can have partners, not to say you're going to be promiscuous, but you can date someone, break up, and it's not, you move on because you're still living at home, your responsibilities are different, or you have no responsibilities, actually, furthermore. Or you have very little, right? Or you might give your family a little bit of money, just, keeps, whatever they call it. But then if you're living together, for example, you've got shared responsibilities, you've got shared life, you've got a shared goal, you've got shared income, shared outgoings. So to say that, I'm going to just move out, or I'm going to go, do something else, you can't, that doesn't happen. It's not realistic. It's not so straightforward. So I think there's more to it than just, I'm going to go we're going to go separate ways. I think it's more to it than just that. And it's more emotive as well. So yeah, that's my views on it.
People who have moved, people who have moved like a distance to go and be with that person. There are people who like move from one side of the world to another. And then
prison.
Yeah,
I moved to be with myself.
Do you not think I'll move to be with him?
I feel you with that.
But it's just.
You know what Carl said? Carl said he was going to move back to see me for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but anyway.
Righto, that was definitely a dream there, mate. Definitely a dream. Fuck, Cher, what are you saying? Take me out of this nightmare.
Oh gosh, I just think honesty is key when it comes to these things. Like, just being able to be honest about things, because that way you can prevent so much happening. But I feel like a lot of people are afraid to be honest, and a lot of people forgive people, and then they're on edge all the time, like they can't trust the person. If that's the case, just don't be with them, because you can't live your life just being on edge about somebody potentially cheating. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like whatever works for people, but just be honest.
Oh, 100%. Mills, before I come to you, Breen is saying that she cannot forgive and forget. It's over for me. DJ Empress is saying, nope, you have to bounce. They could have been someone rotten, fishy. Oh, God. Of course she went there. I haven't got my glasses on, so I couldn't scan through the message first. Cheers, Empress, bitch. Millie, what are you saying?
I'm the same as Sticky. Like, I would love to say, no, I'll kick them to the curb. But, like, the Millie would, but Milan, like, I know I love her. So, if somebody, like, I've never touched wood, and if the universe is listening, don't even bring some motherfucker into my life that's going to do it. But I've never been cheated on. So, making sure that I'm licking that wood. You hear me?
You're licking the wood, yeah? That's why. That's the reason why, because you're licking the wood.
Here we go.
I mean,
Boy, I knew you were gonna say it.
I was waiting
I think he
on
licked
this.
his lips and picked up his drink. Put it down, stop it. Yeah.
What's he doing? What are you drinking? Milk?
That is milk.
This is pineapple and banana from Asda.
Oh.
Good old Asda, yeah.
Ah,
Did
Obviously,
you add
Market
a bit of
available.
Malibu to it?
I didn't. Obviously, markets are available, of course, but I went to Asda, pineapple banana juice. So, yeah, it's lovely.
Oh yeah, I've had that. It's nice.
There we go. You see, Cher knows. Cher had it
Guys,
at
we're
my
going
house.
into my talking time.
Anyway.
Shut up about your pineapple and
You see what I said, you know? Cher had it at my
Back on
house.
topic, guys. Back on topic.
Back on topic. Back to me. It's my time now, okay? No, but so yeah, like I said, I love hard, innit? And I know I love hard. So if somebody cheated on me, I think, okay, I would probably forgive them for the first time. We'll try to work it out and whatever. But you see, if that was the second time, that's when like Millie would come out. And I mean, someone would have to pay my bow because I don't know what would happen. Do you understand? But like literally, like without, the first time I would have to forgive them and just be like, cool, whatever. Again, like I've like never cheated on anybody. I don't think I could or would, like, because again, I wouldn't treat somebody how I wouldn't like want to be treated. I just think cheating on someone, that it's like Cher said, once you cheat on someone, cool, you've forgiven them, but you don't forget. And then there's the trust issues, and then that makes you anxious, and then you start getting anxiety, and then do you know what I mean? It leads on to so many different things. And if you don't work together as a couple, and then on yourself as well, you end up like those psycho girls. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to be that person. I like me now.
yeah.
I don't want to be her.
How do you rebuild that trust once that trust has been ripped apart and somebody is strayed? How do you actually regain that trust without that mentally imprinting in the back of your mind all the time and flashing back up? How do you move on from that?
I think it's one of those things that'll always be there, like at the back of your mind. But like I said, because you're working through it together, like if it happened and then, you know, your guy's still acting like sneaky, his phone rings and he's going off in another room, or his phone's always upside down, or, you know, when like he's texting on the side, you know, you can just see certain things and you're like, oh, your girl's hiding her phone and your girl's, do you know what I mean? It's like, well, it's not helping with the like niggling thing in your mind, because you're like, well, why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. It's about just working through it. And I mean, I can't really speak much more on it because I ain't never been in that situation and I ain't never gonna be.
I mean, I think the mind is.
Wait, she's still licking wood, yeah?
Yeah.
She's licking wood, you know.
She's
I think
preaching.
the mind is a very dangerous thing, though, because do you know what? It's like we can experience once we've experienced something once in the physical, mentally it can be quite detrimental. Because like I know, like touch wood, I ain't never been cheated on. That I know. I think I was once when I was about 17, but it was fine because I was banging someone else anyway, so I don't really care about that. But as in, like in my adult life, I've never been cheated on. But I think other things have happened to me, and it all comes back down to like honesty and people being more transparent. And I think once a person lies to you or keeps something from you and goes out of their way to hide the truth, it's so hard to kind of move on from that. Mentally it's hard because even past experiences with other people, moving forward now, like I swear I was telling a friend the other day, I swear sometimes I got like a little bit of PTSD or a little bit of trauma there. Do you get me? Because it's like, you know, that person is not that person and they're not going to do that. You know they're not going to do it, but this person did this, so it sticks with you. So I think mentally, you might forgive them in the moment, but mentally it's going to mess you up in the long run. So it can be quite difficult. It depends on who you are and what the situation is. But do I commend men or women who stay? I don't know. I don't know if I can commend them, but they are maybe mentally a stronger person than me. or is it that they're stronger than me, or is it because they're holding on to something and they want to hold on? But yeah, I just don't know. I have no clue. I just have no clue. I think I got something from Milan, actually. Oh.
Blame Milan and Anna Wood. I think we just need to try and be a stronger person. And why would you want to be there if the trust is broken down? There's that niggling thought in the back of your head that it might continue. Why would you want to grow together from that? Yeah, for me, it just kind of sounds like it's just going to go back somewhere it doesn't need to be, Personally, that's what I think. Chid, do we have anything to ask Miss Millie today?
I do. So, Mills, I actually haven't got a scenario. It's not a scenario this week. It's something a little bit different. Bear with me, babes. Bear with me.
Okay. I don't know what to expect, because sometimes you bring out the most fucking, I don't even know.
But random shit, innit? Random shit.
I know.
I work so hard, to find these scenarios and all this bullshit, to ask you. It's amazing, right there. Right, so I saw something in the media this week, so I want to know what you think of this, Millie. So men who send unsolicited dick pics to anyone face 2 years in jail. Cyber flashers will be forced to sign sexual offenders register under law change in England and Wales. What do you think about that, Mills?
Okay, first of all, what's unsolicited? Like when you don't want it and someone sent it to you?
Yeah.
I can get
Rainbow.
Guys, next week you might not see Sticky. I'm joking.
So the lady who's licking wood, remember, she's licking wood, don't forget that, right? So
wood.
No, I'm joking. So what's solicit? Okay. I mean, I don't think they should sign the sex offenders. I don't think they should sign that. I think that's a bit. I mean, obviously, it's a deterrent to make people not do it. So I get it in that sense, but I don't think they should sign the bloody sex offenders register. Like, blooming hell, mate, it's only a willy. Obviously, and sometimes you just open up a DM and then you're like, okay, there wasn't even a hi. I don't even know who you are, and now I've seen your penis. But like, are people that offended? Really? Like, willies aren't very nice to look at, neither's a vagina, to be honest. Not that I've been sent a vagina pic, I'm just saying, like, both of them aren't like nice to look at. Does it go for vagina pics if you send a pic of your vag?
I presume so. I would, because
I hope so. I hope it's not just a hit on willies, because vaginas get sent too. Again, not to me, I'm just saying, in general, vaginas do get sent too. So I do hope that the law's on both sides. But I think signing the sex offenders register, that's too strong. Like I said, I get why, as a deterrent to stop people from doing it. But then it's like, is it that thing of like, so I now need to ask for a dick pic, because if they send it to me, say we've been flirting and we want the cheeky, and then cucumber, the aubergine emojis are getting sent, and the peach emojis are getting sent, and then wham, he hits me with a thing. Am I going to be like, oh my god, how dare you send me a picture of it, like what? And then I can report him? I don't get it. It doesn't really make sense. I don't know. I don't like that one. I don't like it.
I know. I wanted to know what you thought of it, because
I don't like it. I mean, obviously, don't send a dick pic if nobody. If you can sense that, like, literally, if she was like, "How are you doing, babes? I'm doing fine. I'm just popping down to Tesco's. I don't know, just before school, and bam, dick pic." Don't do that, because you're just a fucking idiot. Do you know what I mean? But if the conversation is going somewhere, then yeah, send a dick pic, send a badge, send a bit of titty and a nipple piercing. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do we have to be? Do you know what it is? Right? This world is so. Is it conservative? Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
I think it's just precious.
You can't say nothing. You can't do nothing. You can't. Like, if you sneeze too loud, bloody hell, everyone thinks you've got fucking COVID. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why can't...
I love it. Oh.
No, but it is, though, because, you know, when it's just like...
Can't do nothing.
Brina in the comments is saying, oh, wow, it's about time they did something about that. Exactly. No hide, just a D. And then Peely's saying that she don't think it's that deep. Block and delete. I got a lot. Kind of easy to deal with. And then Brina's laughing about the hit on Willies.
Do you know what? Sorry to cut. Do you know what I think as well?
Yeah.
I don't know this story. I genuinely haven't heard this in the media. I've been at work and work. But I can just imagine that there was some sort of influencer underwear model who is not saying that she deserves to get dick pics, but she is presenting herself like that in some sort of way.
Are you talking with the camel toe?
Camel toe.
Those ones
pictures,
where they got them pulled up, yeah.
You know, lingerie pictures. That's all her thing. Like, this is what I'm imagining. I could be wrong, but like I said, I haven't seen this in the media. And, you know, obviously people are DMing her pictures of that because of what she's posting, and now she's offended. And again, it's like when people go out, they shouldn't be, you know, raped just because they're in a short skirt or a long dress. But it's just like, why are you getting offended? What if someone's offended of seeing your bloody, like, nipples through a mesh bra? What can they do about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just all I'm going to say on that subject. I could probably talk about it for hours.
What about you, Shay? I want to know what you think of it as well.
Well, I don't know. I just think people should just stop sending the pictures. Like, why has everybody got to be so thirsty in the first place? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it's a bit extreme when there's paedophiles out there and they're not even arresting the paedophiles.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. I think they need to get those people first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's absolutely insane how they're willing to get somebody who sent an unassisted picture sign sex offenders register, but then a paedophile, okay, will have to sign the sex offenders register. More time, don't even do jail time or anything. Like, nothing happens to them. They just live their life, really. A sex offender, a predator, and they're still out there able to do whatever they want to do and target whoever they want to target. It's quite weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
get sex offenders registered too far. I think that's too far. Like, I don't know if you remember growing up. There was a massive petition. There was a paedophile taken out of prison and moved in like 2 streets away from a primary school.
Yeah.
And so obviously they're on the sex offenders register, but yet they're putting them near a school, which is clearly enticing them back to it. I just feel like the whole sex offenders register should be really cautious on as to how far you go with that. If it's a bloody dick pic, that doesn't solicit for a register, I don't think.
No. Not a register.
Sticky, where you sending your bits to?
Sticky to
firstly, actually on that, okay, ladies.
I sent it to Milan.
Firstly, ladies, if you want to send me them, feel free. All is welcome, okay? I put it on my Instagram.
Are you gonna pay? Do you pay for them though? Because I will only send them.
You must be mad.
I'm gonna pay for it if I can go on, you know, certain websites that are for adult nature to see.
No, but it's mine though. Like, it's platinum. You need to pay.
No, wait. But you're saying about unsolicited pictures. I'm saying, ladies, if you want to send me unsolicited pictures, feel free. I'm not going to tell anyone. It'll be between you and I. Your DMs are my DMs, or WhatsApp, whatever you want to call it. Feel free, okay? In terms of the sex offenders, it's as you guys have all said, it's a bit ridiculous, right? It's like, come on, the crime doesn't, the punishment doesn't really reflect the crime. Mm-hmm. It's a bit ridiculous. I'm sure if I got caught with a gun or a knife or something, I'll probably do 2 years as well. You're telling me if I send my bits and pieces, I'm going to do 2 years as well. Like, really? Now, what are you here for? Since I'm going to DM with my penis. Really? 2 years, yeah? Like, come on. So, yeah, but again, as I said, ladies, feel free, all right? You want to send it to me?
Look at the smile. It's the teeth. The pure white, isn't it?
Just block his ass. Fuck
Oh,
me.
God.
Why are you blocking me for? I'm not sending it.
Oh.
I'm receiving it. Send it. Send away. Send. You know, you can do this thing on WhatsApp. Have you seen the thing on WhatsApp, right? Where you can do one viewing.
Yeah, they're doing the one view now, isn't they? Or the
One viewing.
thing. That's
Oh,
crazy.
you know,
What's that?
that's
I need to
Yeah.
update
exposure, all
my
that.
WhatsApp.
One viewing.
Update your WhatsApp, Mills.
I'm gonna update my WhatsApp.
Update that, love. Update it.
If you've got me as a contact, I'm joking.
Milan's gonna say,
Millie's new boobs are beyond the camera.
Oh yeah.
So, guys, I have the last topic here. Difference in opinion.
Mm.
What do you think about it? Are you allowed to have one? Should you be agreeing with other people? Should you be disagreeing?
I feel
It's a
like
broad spectrum. Where you go with it?
it is. I'm gonna go somewhere with it. Do you know? I feel like, yeah. Do you know when you've got a different opinion and you don't agree with somebody else? People get so mad when you don't agree with them. Why do people? I do it on purpose now. I'll just say the opposite, even if I don't fucking believe in it. I'll just do it for fun now, just to watch people get so pissed off. Are people that deep in their ego, yeah, that they have to get that pissed off because I don't agree with what you... Imagine if we all thought the same. Fuck this podcast, innit? We just all be like, yeah, and it would be done. Differences in opinion is what makes the world like go round. This is where we have conversations. This is where we're able to have discussions. If I agreed with Milan and Milan agreed with Sticky and we all agreed with each other, then there would be no conversation. You wouldn't have a mind of your own. You would be robotic. It is good to have a difference in opinion. It's good to think differently. Yeah, you might not agree with what the other person might think or whatever, but that's not really on you. People are entitled to their opinion. It doesn't matter. And this is what I was talking to somebody, one of my work colleagues, and I said, it doesn't matter what even if the person thinks something absolutely extreme or whatever, they're entitled to have that different, that's their opinion, innit? Like, it's not going to change your life. It's not going to change the way you think. But I feel like nowadays people try to force their opinions onto other people. And if other people don't agree with them, they get angry and they really get in their ego. Or if people say things that other people don't like, they get really angry. Like, why are you getting angry? I feel like that said something about you. Like, not really what's going on.
Do you think, though, those ones who do get more confrontational with it, is that more of a hidden agenda with it? As well as an opinion?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Or they could just... I always find there's people who ain't really happy with themselves, or they ain't really confident in what they're saying, or they just know they're just chatting shit anyway. But then even if you are chatting shit, that is your opinion. You're allowed to chat shit because it's you, innit? Like, I just think, yeah, people get really upset and it makes me laugh. So I just piss them off just for fun now. Gemini!
Share. Should we have an opinion?
Yeah, of course. Everybody should have an opinion. I think freedom of speech is important. But I feel like the world is like kind of gone into this thing where people think you're not allowed to have freedom of speech or say what's on your mind or anything, but we're all different, isn't it? So we need to express ourselves. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people do get to the point, like Chidi was saying, where they're angry and they get mad about stuff, but it's like everybody's different. And I think once you realize that, then you're not really fazed by anything. Do you know what I mean? But I think the thing is when people get disrespectful about stuff, then that's a kind of a different thing. Do you know what I mean? Like if people are, I don't know, being racist or something, then that's kind of different. But people are allowed freedom of speech anyway. It just reveals who you are as a person, isn't it?
I totally agree there. I'm going to use this as an example. I was watching Dr. Phil the other day, and you know the Alphabet Mafia. the LGBTQI plus whatever crap shit. They were having a discussion on there about pronouns, which I fucking hate. But because the one was not challenged, the one guest was asked, do you describe a woman? And they turned that into, you can't ask me this question, but yet they're allowed to have an opinion, but yet if they're challenged on their opinion, then that's an attack. But no, that's also an opinion. So, I mean, where does this cross the line? Like, it's like you can't have an interaction with people anymore. Do you know what I mean, Cher? It's, people are just too scared to have a conversation. It's bizarre. Mill, what do you think about, like, opinions?
I mean, I feel like when people feel strongly about something, so especially when it's to do with, like, oh my God, what am I going to say? Gender. Yeah. I had to think then, like, what gender was. Yeah. Where am I going with this? Like, gender, religion, race, you know, people can be very passionate and very strong. And when you don't agree with them, or you say, yeah, I understand, but they're like, well, then why is there a but? No. And it's like, well, because yes, I understand what you're saying, but I still believe, or my opinion is still this. And people don't like that when it comes to those type of subjects. But, you know, a difference of opinion, that's how you have a conversation. Like, you don't just, I don't get it. How else would you have a conversation if you all thought the same? Do you know what I mean? Like, the world would be very boring. We'd all be walking the same, talking the same, dressing the same. We'd look like a bloody, I don't even know, like some sort of army of whoever it was that we was all, like, following. Do you know what I mean? Like, we would just all be the same. And it's, I mean, the world's not nice, but, you know, it is nice in the fact that there are so many different people, and, you know, people think different, and I don't understand why you can't. Why is it a problem if someone doesn't agree with you? You know, but then it's like, when does opinion cross over to being like, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it, but, you know, when just like, I don't know, like, how strong is your opinion for you to be offended by what somebody else says? Because if that's my opinion, they were like, well, I'm gonna hear you out, and maybe I might think, oh, actually, maybe my opinion was a bit too strong or too weak, or I can see how both of them could still go to. Do you know what I mean? But to get all angry about and argue about it, like, do you not have anything better to do in your life? Like, I get, like, emotions will take over, and like I said, on those topics, people can be very strong and feel passionate about them and want to get their like, word across and their word heard, and because that's what they believe, they think everyone should believe that. But it's just, that's just not the way the world works. Do you know what I mean? It's just not.
No, I totally agree with you. Just going to go to a couple of the comments. Brina's saying, in a chit, why do people get so wound up just because somebody disagrees with them? And then she said, you got to have a different perspective. Peely's saying it's about being open and respectful. You don't have to agree, just remain respectful about it. Brina's saying she agrees with Cher, no disrespect. And then she's saying, yes, Milan. NG Bance is saying conflict of thought is needed in order to grow on your own perspective and understand things. And then Empress is saying, that's like people preaching their religion on the streets. It's like some people get angry because your opinion is different.
Yes, very much true.
Totally. Sticky, you don't normally have an opinion. What's yours now?
First opinion is that you're an arsehole. That's my first opinion, right?
Oh,
Absolutely welcome.
My second opinion is that anytime I speak to Carl on the phone, he's usually having wine and he's half drunk out of his mind, saying, Sticky, I love you.
I was last night, yeah. I know.
Wait, hold on. When Carl is saying last night, right, this, you got to remember the time difference. I spoke to Carl last night, but that was hour this morning, okay? Just to put that clear, it's like
it's
12 hours
9
different.
Yeah.
Just get that one out there. do you know what? As you guys were talking, right, I was thinking, I agree with what Cher was saying about, and I think Cher said it, PD said, and I think Milan said it about, being respectful about someone else's opinion. But on the flip side of that, though, sometimes you can't be. Yeah, so, no, seriously, you can't be. No, it's true.
That's so you.
You know, like every time he's like today, every time we've gone to him for the topic, he comes with like, I can imagine someone being like, I don't know, this is like Professor Sticky, what do you think? Like, all our opinions are from the heart, like what we feel, we're putting our personal... and he's just coming with like textbook, Oxford...
Yeah, because this is what it is.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Sticky, tell your truth, man. Stop talking
this is what he said, devil's advocate. This is what he's doing. He's letting me be devil's advocate.
I hate it.
He's playing you all off. That's what he's doing.
Can I point something out? Just one thing,
This
right?
is opinion, so...
One thing, right? You know when everyone else was speaking, I never interrupted any one of them. I muted my mic and all sorts. But it's all good. It's all good. I won't ever go there. Anyway, as I was saying, right? As I was saying before, I was really interrupted out here. Right? As I said, I like to agree with you guys because I think you were right. That, you want to be respectful to people's comments, opinions and stuff like that. But again, there's sometimes you just can't be. You can't be respectful to someone's opinion. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes some people's opinions are just full of shit. Right? And it is what it is. Because imagine thinking of someone meeting someone from the KKK. Yeah, and they're saying, all certain groups of people should be burned alive. You'd be like, okay, that's your opinion, but fuck you, innit? Like, you wouldn't really say I'm going to respect their opinion, would you? You're going to sit there and go, yeah, do you know what? Let me really think about that. Actually, you got a point.
That's not really an opinion, though. That's a disrespect.
Well, again, they'll say that's their opinion, right? They'll say it's their opinion. So you're not really going to say to yourself, well, let me see where they're coming from. Can kind of see it. No, you're really not going to. You'll be like, nah, forget that.
Do you really have the patience to listen to bullshit, though? Because I don't. When you know a conversation and you're listening to opinions which you know are going to be absolute idiotic stupidness, I don't have the patience to sit and listen to that crap, personally.
I do to a point. It depends on how far. Because again, to give a bit more context, last week when we came off live, we were talking about a topic we were going to have this week where someone said, being a single parent is a choice or something like that. And it's like, that's their opinion, right? So they have their reasons for saying that, what they may have seen, learned, or been taught. That's their opinion. And you can say, well, even I think when we were talking about it, it's what they were saying was actually bullcrap anyway. But that's someone's opinion. And then sometimes you've got to like maybe educate.
He's probably gone quiet in it.
He's muted.
Oh, it's perfect. Anyway, your opinions don't count.
You went silent.
Your voice is gone, mate. Your voice is totally gone. He's gone to Cher's Island. See ya.
Oh, Sticky, come back.
Susan!
Your voice is gone, mate.
Winston! What are you doing?
Trevor!
Little controller.
Sticky,
No, seriously though, are you okay?
Mouth help if you need help.
Six.
Sticky, your antennas have dropped. You need to put his antennas back up. That's what it is. Now, this is the universe telling him to shut his mouth, Shut him out.
But he was chatting. Sorry, guys, do you not hear me when I'm saying he was giving the Professor Oxford textbook? Like, he's not telling it from the heart. He was just chatting because he had to chat because he weren't hosting.
He's basically he's giving a Boris answer. He's not
Do you know
answering the
what I'm
question.
saying?
He's doing a Boris.
Oh,
Yeah.
Winston Boris Johnson.
The universe locked him off, bro.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna say thank you to Empress, saying, Carl, thank you for being committed and getting up so bloody early to do this. Thank you, babe. You are so welcome. Brina's also agreeing with Cher in the comments. She's saying that's true, Cher. And then they're laughing that he's muted and wishing him the best.
Universe telling him to hush his guns.
Back off, Boris.
Guns. What's his
Boris
name?
is back.
Winston
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson.
Guys, we got under 1 minute left on the podcast now. Can you, everyone who's listening in, thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you again, and we love hearing your comments back. So
And
get in
big up
contact
Carl,
if you have.
amazing host.
If you
I
have,
was gonna say, Carl, you listen. I'm not being funny, and I ain't just saying this because I actually adore you, but you pissed on Sticky tonight, shitted on him. In fact, you are the best host. Sticky's done out here. He's done, sacked, gone, job gone. Carl, you're hired. Sticky,
Oh.
you're fired.
I did get a bit of wine tongue-tied now and again. I will say that.
No,
you're brilliant.
he's only hired if he keeps the telephone voice.
Yeah,
I love it. Love it.
You're
Round of
professional.
applause. Round of applause for him.
Yeah.
How's that?
Well done, Carl. Well done.
Thank you. So anyone who is in the comments now, send in what you would like to be discussed. Let us know what your thoughts are on certain subjects, and maybe we'll pick it up in the next conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you all very
you.
much. The time's gone out on Instagram. Thanks for joining.
Bye, guys.